Every haunting has a beginning and an end, but in this place, one becomes the other. Step closer, the lantern's glow will guide you. What you are about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted. Every haunting has a beginning and an end, but in this place, one becomes the other. Step closer, the lantern's glow will guide you. What you are about to hear is how the intro repeats. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to Mercury Retrograde. Welcome to Help I'm Haunted Season 2. It has been a haunting day today, and you know what? We may as well laugh. Right? We just may as well laugh because that's just the way it is. Welcome to Help I'm Haunted, my darlings. It is Thursday, July 2nd. We are in July. Soon we will be having our little Halloween special. What are we doing? I don't know, but it will be special. And thank you so much for being here. I want to thank True Oracle, Fate and Fortune True Oracle for being here. And I also want to thank my beautiful mods. Thank you. And Patty, these are earrings that were gifted to me last year, and I love them too. I'm going to start wearing these again. They are actually little black cats. I don't know if you can see them or not. Little black cats sitting on a moon. I just think they're a gas, and that's why I love that kind of thing. So welcome to each and every one of you. It has been a day with a Nancy Guthrie hearing. I don't know. But, I just wonder what dimension are we in? And since they closed the portal in CERN on Monday, so we had a full moon, Mercury retrograde, and the portal in CERN close. What's going to happen? I don't think much of anything that's not happening already. Thank you, my darlings. Did you get to see the Lady Zelda Forbidden Files and True Oracle? If you did, please put a 1 in the chat. Please put a 1 in the comments if you got to see that. I am going to do a little slight recap so everybody can catch up. And that knocking was my cat. So yeah, put it in there. Thank you, my darlings. Thank you. Pardon me. The heat is so wild here, and the pollen that my eyes just feel like, so thank you. Okay, good. I think Twilight Zone, I want you to know something. If you guys like the Twilight Zone, here's a recommendation, because we're going to be preparing for Halloween. The recommendation is the first episode of The Twilight Zone features Roddy McDowell. It is called The Cemetery, and you can see that for free on a channel by the name of Tubi, Tubi, and you can also, oh, hi, Lori, are you in Athens? Great. And you can also see Dark Shadows. The entire series of Dark Shadows is on Tubi as well. Gives you something to do. I don't know if we're going to be streaming Saturday night because it is the 4th of July. I may have some plans. I don't know. But if I don't, well, I mean, I'll let you know. But I think everybody else has plans. And I just want to give everybody that, And besides, I want to decide, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to visit remotely inside of Nancy's house again. I'm getting ticked. Am I allowed to do that? I think so. I think I'm getting ticked. I think I'm getting ticked. So welcome each and every one of you. Let's get started, my darlings. Here we go. Maybe. Here we go. Welcome, my darlings. Here we're going to get started because this is really something. And let me put my little QR code up there. So thank you so much. I think we're all ticked about this. I just kind of feel like we're in a Mandela effect. And if you just saw my latest post, I forgot to put that in the video because I'm just so ticked. But the reality is I got one feed this morning that said, yeah, the ransom notes are real. And then another one, no, we don't think the ransom notes. Stop. We're all here going to take a break. And I'm going to tell you this spooky story because this was something else. And first of all, I got to have a drink. Oh, and thank you for each and every one of you who is checking out my Avon page. And yes, this is Avon is calling. And this is the lipstick. This is everything. Yes, Avon is calling, and it's wonderful. I'm surprised for the price point. And it's free shipping for the next 3 days. So the link is in the description and in my community tab. Okay. Yes, this is a circus beyond belief. I'm going to take you tonight to Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, I think Skin So Soft is flying off the shelves. That's why I wanted to get in it. Okay. And they've got some wonderful products too. We are now in Knoxville, Tennessee. You can see the trees and you can see this lovely house. And to me, this is lovely. This is the best that I can recollect. And I took some old pictures and I drew it out. And then, I put it in my little program and I said, spice this up and make it look decent. And this is what we came up with. And yes, it is on approximately 7 acres. And oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Hello, Mrs. Marie. She just came into the chat. Welcome, welcome. Look at those. I love it. Listen, if you want to make me laugh, see those 2 little girls that are like arm in arm. They're just standing there. La, la, la. Well, that's, we always say that's she and I. I love it. So anyway, here we are, my darling. Now I'm going to stay focused because I love watching what you do and what you say. And then I'm like, hello, I'm done. So now, Knoxville, Tennessee. Now I'm going to back up a little bit and I'm going to go over the card reading that I did there we go. The card reading that I did for this couple. The original cards are in the video. It is on Fate and Fortune True Oracle. It is under the Lady Zelda Forbidden Files playlist if you want to go over there. That's right. La la. So I was on my own then, not working for any psychic line. It was word of mouth, and I might put a little something in a newspaper, but they had some at that time. They had some psychic fairs. They used to call them a psychic fair. That just used to crack me up because, I have this mind that just kind of goes deep. So there was this little psychic fair. And so my name kind of got out there. It wasn't anything like what it is now. Of course, no internet, no any of that stuff. So it was kind of funny because I remember seeing this couple at the psychic fair, but I don't think that they were able to get a reading. I know they weren't able to get a reading with me because because the line was too long and you only have a certain amount of time. So they came late and they weren't able to get in there. So they got my number. Talk about Southern. This little gal, now I'm going to name her Beth and her husband Mike. Okay. But this little gal, I'll talk about my makeup when this is over. Hang in there. This little gal, Beth, she was the epitome of a trad wife. You know what that is, a traditional wife. When I saw her, she had a little dress on. And when I went out to their home, and that was something that I never do, but I wanted to do this, she had this little house dress on. I told her she just looked as cute as a button. And she said, "Oh, I made this. I've got a little pattern. I sew all my clothes." And I'm thinking, my gosh, if I had a body like that, I would too. So, the little rickrack, the little rickrack that women would put on. Well, she was the epitome of the 1950s Good Housekeeping magazine young lady who was adorable. And her husband was just as adorable. They were just adorable people. So much in love, so just wonderful people. So during the reading, when she called me, she basically was shaking on the phone. And sometimes when people call me, they get nervous because they are afraid that I'm going to tell them all the bad stuff. Well, aren't you experiencing all the bad stuff to begin with? Why do you want to come to me so I can tell you all the bad stuff? Let's talk about all the good stuff and what you can do to navigate through this time and go forward. And by the way, time out, I wanted to address something. I saw a couple of comments that asked me why I start my intro late, and I'm going to tell you why. I wait a few seconds because there's like a 5 to 8 second delay. So when I go live, there's a small delay. There's a thing in StreamYard that you can upload your intro and your outro. And if you press the live button and if you put the intro into that, it just automatically goes and you're going to miss like the first 5 seconds of the intro. And pardon me, but that drives me bad. I want to see the entire intro. So I don't do that. I want to make sure that everybody sees the intro. That's why you're here. All right. So I'm back here. So she calls me. I could hear this little gal shaking on the phone. Now imagine if you're so nervous and your voice is shaking and your phone is shaking, you can hear that if you've got it up to your ear. Now, she was calling from a landline. And she's telling me that they inherited this house from his family. Now, this is just amazing because this house, and I've driven by this house a few times. It is not in Knoxville proper. And no, I'm not going to tell you where it is because I don't want you driving by. And so anyway, she said they inherited this house and all they heard after they first moved in was knocking. And then all of a sudden they started hearing a little, huh? What? Little, huh? And she's like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. Well, the young man, Mike, was trying to calm her down and say, you know what? It's okay. It's nothing. You're not hearing anything. when the reality was he was hearing it too, but he was trying to calm down. And all this came out on the phone in the reading, and they were upset. And it's like, oh my heck. No, no, we didn't call to argue. He's trying to protect you, Beth. And so she started having dreams of him passing away in the house. And while I was on the phone with them, I heard the knocking. They were both on with me, and I heard the knocking. So I just said, you know what? And there's like, Zelda, you're in the paranormal. Can't you come out here? And I said, you know what? I'm going to make an exception, and I will. Because, there are some people you can just get a vibe, and then there's other people, I wouldn't even think, right? I wouldn't even think. I go out there. Now, this is end of summer. So you've got what are they called? The cicadas. All that going on like they do in Tennessee. And it's just this beautiful farm sounds. They're in the middle of some farm country. And now they didn't have any farm animals or any animals whatsoever, but the next door neighbors over here did. And you could hear the cows, and that gets to me. I love that. So now, my darlings, I walk in the house, and the house is gorgeous. They walk me around in this house. Seriously? And I told them, I said, look, if you guys can find the budget, you need to stay here and you need to fix this house up. Well, here's the story, my darlings. The aunt stayed there. Now, the aunt sent a message because he was in the chemical field, some chemical something or other, and they moved to Knoxville. But then as soon as they moved to Knoxville, about 6 weeks after they went there, they got laid off, and they were really having a hard time financially. Went through all their savings and everything else. Next thing you know, they get contacted by some type of court and said, are you so-and-so, the relative of Mrs. So-and-so? Yes, I am. Well, she has passed away. This is her obituary. We need you to come down to the law office. We want you to bring all of your ID, all of everything, your proof, if you have any relative proof, birth certificates, blah, blah, blah. The grass in Tennessee is not blue. That's Kentucky. So they did that. They got the house. She had a little money too, but she got the house. So she passed away in the house. It was an aunt, I think. I think it was an aunt. And she did not take her own life. I just want you to know. But she had an accident inside the house. Well, they were aware of it. Now, little Beth told me, every time I walk through this one area of the house, and I can't avoid it. I have to walk through there to get room to room. After all, I have to clean. And I'm thinking, darling, you can go into my house. And she's like, after all, I have to clean. And that's just my daily thing. I get it. So lo and behold, my darlings, it comes out that the aunt passed away on the staircase. Now, she fell, but officer, she fell. No, it wasn't that. She fell. And it's like, oh my gosh. Well, little Beth didn't know that because Mike had found some letters in one of these upper thing. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but anytime there's an old house, seriously, and I've done the same thing. Let's head right to the attic or let's head right to the basement. Let's see what's there. Because, And time out, my Aunt Frida, the one that had a ring similar to this one, that found the diary that was in Pennsylvania to some of her people that was related to the people that were in Europe, that talked about immortals and that sort of thing. And she had that diary forever. And evidently, I am supposed to have favored her. When my aunt's aunt passed away, now my aunt was in World War II. She was something else. But anyway, when she passed, when my aunt, I think she was 12, she passed, when her aunt passed away, right to the attic, and she found that diary. Found that diary. And lo and behold, she kept it. She said, "Can I have this book?" Yes, it was in High German, and it was just not until maybe even last year we got some of it translated by you know who. So anyway, that's my point is everybody heads up there. Well, Mike headed up there to the attic and found these letters. And the reality is she had been talking about hearing knocking because this house was built right after the Civil War. So there was no Underground Railroad, no soldiers that were left over or anything like that. It was just seriously, after recovering from the Civil War and, starting over again. They found these letters from the aunt that said, "I just feel like I'm being pushed. I hate going up and down the steps. I feel like I'm being pushed." So the reality is that Mike said he wanted to go see her. He heard that she was not ill, but he just couldn't go. And then they hadn't heard from her. And the mailman and the delivery of the Knoxville News Sentinel came down, and things were just adding up on the porch and all this other, and they didn't see her. And sadly, they called the police department, sheriff's department. They went out and did a wellness check, and they found her. So that's at the bottom of the stairway. So when you walked into here, you went through the foyer a little bit, and then there was a big stairway. Listen, if I could have got my hands on this house, because when you walked up on the front porch and you walked in the door, to the right of the front door was the stairway. It wasn't a grand stairway. It was to the right of and you walked in a little bit. I do not like houses where you open up the front door and you've got a staircase right in front of you. No, that is not feng shui. It never works with me, and I can't live in a house like that. But this was a few feet back, and there was a beautiful mural that was on that particular wall that went upstairs. And it had a lot of the original wall coverings from over 100 years ago. So this place was really taking my eye. And, they had several fireplaces and all this other stuff happening and going on. So now I went by myself, which I know I should not have, but I did. So I looked it over and I scoped and everything else. And I said, "Look, do you guys have a place to go?" "No, ma'am." And I said, so they didn't have any money to go anywhere. And I said, "Look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade you. You let me stay in your house tonight, and I'll help you get a hotel room in Knoxville, or you can go and get something to eat. You can go to a movie. You can do whatever you want to. And I'll stay here tonight. You come back in the morning." Well, they just didn't know how to feel about that. And I said, Look, if I'm here doing some things and you guys start hearing these noises, the anxiety that you're already having, and if you're screaming and carrying on like you're doing, I can't do it. I can't do it. So they agreed, and they were happy. They went off, they were happy. And I stayed there. And I'm going to tell you, the moment that they left that house, hold on a minute, my darlings. There we go. The moment that they left that house, it started. I could hear the breathing. Yeah, they were breathing. Earth, ERF, earth, on the earth. I could hear the breathing. I could hear things like walking around. Now, they told me there was a particular room upstairs that I went into. And so I took my time because I'm thinking, I just want to walk around and see. Because you know what? I probably wouldn't have done that. They did not have hardly anything, hardly any furniture, nothing at all. And so it wasn't like of course I wasn't going to be there to do anything harmful or vandalize or anything. So I always take a little snack. I always take my own snacks. I always take a thermos of either and some water and a thermos of coffee or something like that. And I'll just go and I'll sit in a room. Sometimes I'll sing. Sometimes I'll speak in a different language, because guess what? Energy just doesn't always speak English. Oh my, what is that? Hello, it does. It's crazy. Energy can speak every language. Have you ever thought of that? Yeah. So I'm sitting there in the living room and I'm hearing knocking coming from upstairs. All of the sudden, I hear this commotion. Seriously, like someone had fallen down the steps. I sat there mortified for 1 minute. I was like, is somebody else here? Because I'm always one. Is somebody flipping pranking me? Because don't. And I thought, oh God, is somebody here? Or has somebody been here and living here thinking that they're gone and this person is coming out? What is this? Because you hear of all these stories. So I just sat there for a minute because I wanted to hear if I heard a moan or a groan or somebody getting up and limping and saying ow and all this other stuff. Not one word, nothing, silence. And you've not lived, my darlings, until you sit in a home like this with very little light. And this is exactly the way the sky looked. And believe me, late summer, it starts getting dark. And it was I would say about 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. So it was pretty dark then. I had flashlights. They had candles. I don't like candles in people's homes because you never know what's going to happen and who wants to call the fire department. So I'm walking around. I'm walking. And then I thought, you know what? Before it gets really too dark, I'm going to walk around the house. I'm going to walk outside. I walked outside. I'm walking around, and this big old mossy oak right here, gorgeous. That tree was ancient, I'm positive. Let me show you. I got another little, I have to show you things because, right? I have to. Let me show you when I walked outside what I saw. This is what I saw. Now look at upstairs. Look upstairs. A light comes on. Let's play that again so you all can see that. This was an amazing house. So the light comes on. Well, you can bet, now this was after I went through the run, and you can bet I ran to the house because I'm thinking, oh, holy mackerel, there's somebody in that house. Did I just say holy mackerel? Give me a second. I got a tickly nose and I have to excuse myself. One moment. Here I is. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking. Holy mackerel. So I took off front. Here we go. There she is. She's running again, running right up to the front porch. And believe me and my little cowboy boots, you would have heard me clomping up there. It was nothing dainty. So I went right up the steps, boom, right up into that nothing, nobody. I went room to room. Now, I always carry a flashlight that it'd hurt somebody. If somebody came after me, it'd hurt. So I had my flashlight out, had my little flashlight out, and sometimes I carry something that's like a little, it's between a cane and a broomstick. One of these days I'll show you. Okay, so anyway, so I went up there, looked all around and nothing. Went room to room, closet to closet, looked under whatever beds that were there, even looked into some of the, moved some of the dressers that were out. Nothing. Absolutely, boom, nothing. I thought, what in the absolute heck? So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to use the water closet. As soon as I go down on the steps, what do I feel? Somebody trying to push me. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no, you're not, pal. And that's exactly what I turned around. Oh no, you're not. You don't belong here. I don't know who you are, but you're out. And I'm going to get you out. Just give me a minute. I have to go to the bathroom. Hold on right there. Don't attack. I have to go to the bathroom first. Give me a second. You know, you have to have a good sense of humor in things. Otherwise, I can't wait till I get out there again. So anyway, so who's we? Me, myself, and I went through this house. So I went up to the upstairs room. It was getting pretty dark now. I went downstairs, did my thing, went back up, poured myself a little cup of coffee, and decided that I was just going to sit there. Now I'm going to show you, my darlings, a little room that I was sitting in. I think this is the room. I tried to make it the way that it was. Yes, it is. Here we are. This is the room that I was sitting in. You can see how dark it got on the left-hand side. And this is how sparse the furniture was. So, and all hardwood floors, beautiful wall coverings that were original. Nobody had messed with the wallpapers. And of course, I'm up around the wall jamb looking, trying to peel back to see if there's any wallpaper, how much wallpaper is on here. You know, there's a house in Sevierville, Tennessee that's called the Wheatlands. People have wallpapered that thing. It had like 89 layers of wallpaper to the point where the walls were buckling. You don't do that in historic houses because you just don't know. So, anyhow, I'm sitting, yeah, there were plenty of lights to turn on, but I don't turn on lights during an investigation because you can see more. So now I'm sitting here. No, sir. No, sorry. No, sir. So now I'm sitting here, and now I'm sitting here doing this. And I start hearing, watch my darlings. I'm going to play it for you again. I want you to watch the door. Watch the door. Now, you can imagine I'm sitting here because listen, anytime that you're in some type of a paranormal investigation, this is Shaggy Noodle, by the way, come here because he heard that Captain Jerry was in the chat. Let me see. I had another one here I wanted to show you. Maybe I got rid of it. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. But as I sat there, and look at this. Get comfortable, buddy. Just go on. He's my noodle maker. So as I sat there, I watched this happen. Watch the door. I watched this happen several times. So I just sat there. I didn't scream. I never scream unless there's a jump scare, that sort of thing. And then it's not a scream. It's like ah. But I watched this ahead of times. Kept watching it, kept hearing the knocking. Finally, I said, "Are you done yet? Because I'm not scared. Are you done? Are you done yet? We have to have a little talk. Are you done?" And then the door stopped. It just stopped when I said that. Now, here's the thing before, okay? Many times this will happen because it's a residual energy. See, people call it a residual haunting, and I know that many of you have heard that, but it's residual energy. It's residual, which means it just happens. Just keeps looping. Now, there's some that, my darlings, that really are intentional energy. Like when my energy is remotely viewing someone else or something, whatever. Yes, the door opened both ways. It was on a hinge. So it was almost like you could pass through and, pass backward. See, the majority of these rooms, like during this time frame, your receiving rooms, like if somebody came to visit you or even a ballroom or something like that, your offices were always on the second floor. And that's why they had the stairway the way that they were. All your help and kitchen and so on and so forth were down on the main floor. I ain't liking that, but okay. So, so I just sat there and I said, okay, I've about had it now. So I get up and I went, I just walked over to the door. I wish I had that one. Where is that one? Give me a second. Where is it? Where is it? I tried to do a couple of these things, and look, sometimes they get messed up, but I'm going to show you anyhow. Okay? I'm going to show you anyhow. Where is this? We'll see which one this is. You can see me walking through a room here and reaching for a door to open it. This is the one. And you see that puff come out? So what happened is when I walked up to that door, I'm going to play it again. I was in another room. I walked up to this door. The door opened on its own. I grabbed the door and the door pulled away from me. And you could see that white mist come through. So a lot of the doors were doing this while I was there. Kind of messed up. So I know that I know that a lot of times these old houses are just, it depends on the land that they're built on. It depends on a lot of this stuff. So I'm just going to say this. It was not negative what was up there. But the fact that an energy tried to push me, that bothered me. And they were it was pushing. So it felt like there was two sets of energies, and that could be it. And that can happen. It can be several. It can be just like in Nancy's. Just like in Nancy's house. Remember when I went in there and I saw the shadows that were in there? Well, the house didn't like that, but the house didn't have the ability to purge that energy of the shadows, just like a house energy doesn't have the, yes, hello, son. Just like the house, this house does not have the ability to have the energy to push out whatever it is that was in there. So the energy, the doors and all that, and the knocking, I think were pretty tame. But the one on the staircase, I did not like. So I walked around and I kept doing it. And this, I seriously talk about being on a hamster loop. That's how I felt, because I was upstairs, I was downstairs, I was looking in here, going upstairs, and still seeing these doors going back and forth and reaching for, and you know it's me because look at the black sweater, right? That wasn't me. It's a little movie reenactment. So, and this is reenactment, but it looks like it. Okay. It's not the originals. I won't put the originals up here for safety and security of these people. Finally, before you know it, it's 7 a.m. I probably looked frightening because I was down in the bathroom and I was tired and, whatever. And I drank all this coffee, and the people came in, Beth and Mike, and she was just, oh, Zelda, did you see anything? Now, listen, do you really think that I'm going to tell her? So I said, oh, I experienced a few little things, a little bit of the knocking and, that sort of thing. And she's like, well, can you stay for breakfast? And I said, yes, I will be glad to. Please feed me. And she laughed. So, and believe me, she cooked a meal that would have choked a pig. I'm not kidding. It was down to biscuits and gravy and ham and bacon and sausage and eggs and hash browns. I don't know how she did it, but it was just like, let me whip up a little thing. Well, she did it all right. And it was all homemade biscuits. It was all, look at this. Look at this man. Hello, how are you today? Would you like to go on a haunting with mommy? Says, no, I already live here. You should go down now. Thank you. Okay. It was so wonderful. So she pushed, and I just kind of made a little motion to Mike that I needed to talk to him. And he's like, oh, honey, I'm going to show her one of the outside buildings and, all this other. So we went outside so she could not overhear us. And we made sure that we were loud enough because we knew she was going to be listening. And then we would walk around something. And finally I told him, I said, hey, Mike, real quick, whatever tried to push her down, it tried to push me down the steps. And I said, I told him what room was in. Pardon me. I told him all this. And he said, what are we going to do? And I said, I'm going to get rid of it. That's what we're going to do. Do you have any salt? What do we have? And he told me what he had. And he said, well, I told him I need a specific herb and this sort of thing. And how about, do you have any sassafras? And you need any of this and you have any of that? Let's go into the woods. So I went in the woods with him. We got everything that we needed. I think I went down to Walgreens and I was able to get some salt and a couple other things from the pharmacist, and we were good. So we went back to the house and I did my thing. Did a house cleansing. I lit the sage with the salt. People don't realize you can do that. I had my little iron pin with me, so there wasn't anything I was going to bother. I told Mike to get some iron, and he had some iron horseshoes that actually were there in one of these barns. I don't even know which one. And he hung them up in the house. You always hang a horseshoe like this in your house. You never hang it like this. You always hang it like this because that keeps all the energy inside the horseshoe. If you hang it above your door and it's like this, all the energy goes out of that and out your door. And you don't want that. You want that iron energy to be held within you, within the house. So I did that. And seriously, it took a couple of times. I had to go back a couple of times. I went to do some genealogy on the home and everything else. And before 1900 in the state of Tennessee, they never made records of buildings and people and all this other. You just basically had to do what you had to do. If you found any type of documentation with the property, that's pretty much the way it is. But I couldn't find anything. Not at the courthouse. I couldn't find anything. And what I did find was, of course, their transfer documents and everything else. And we went back a little bit, but the last one there was, I think it was 1948 or something. And there were no death. There were no anything. There was just no nothing. So we said goodbye to each other. And it was about 9 months later. They gave me a call and invited me out for dinner, and I was glad to go. And you should have seen what they did to that house. He actually got another job in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And they were really doing good. They got financially on their feet. They were doing very well. And what they did to that house was spectacular. They kept a lot of the original woodwork. And I told them, look, you need to contact the Historical Society and the National Register. I don't know if you can find anything happened here, but, in 1800, nothing happened here type stuff. And I think what they did was they went to the Historical Society and they got a loan that was like a very, very small interest loan. But when you do that, you got to make sure that you put everything back from that year point, because they come out and they inspect. So you can't get a loan like that from the Historical Society and then think you're going to put updated bathrooms and all that. It just doesn't work that way. You have to put it back almost to the year. And she was fine. He was fine with that. And the murals they had, I put him in touch with a curator that used to be with the Hermitage in Nashville, Tennessee. I really liked that. He was great. And he gave them some pointers on the Hermitage, by the way, is Andrew Jackson's home in Nashville, Tennessee. And he gave them some pointers and sent them some samples and everything else. And they visited him. So it turned out to be this little project for them. And I asked them if they had any problem. And they said when they started doing the renovations, they heard the knockings and they heard the doors. But from that moment, they didn't hear. So that was a successful clearing. Could have been a lot worse. And I'm glad that I did go, because Mike had told me afterward, he said, look, she was having dreams that something was going to happen to me. And he said, I was afraid of that because I was going up and down these steps and I would get pushed, not every time, but something, it would push me. And you could just feel, and what pushed me, I could feel. It doesn't feel like a hand. It feels like somebody's put a block. Just say if you're holding a brick, okay? That's what it feels like, or it felt like to me. That's what it felt like. It just felt like somebody took a brick and just pushed it up against my back and just pushed me. That's not funny. That's pretty serious. I did get to go, and they did have some type of a basement underneath. And believe me, they're not a basement. It was a cellar. And pardon me. And the cellar, they used, because, you get pretty nasty tornadoes that come through Knoxville and around in that area. And you got to have somewhere to go, right? You got to have somewhere to go. So they told me they only used it once and that was it. But then I moved off. I don't know if they're still there. Maybe one day when I go back, I'll ride over there, see if I can walk up and say hello. I'm sure they have a passel of kids by now because she wanted a family. But other than that, but they were really on the edge of a divorce because she felt he was lying to her intentionally, and she could see, it was just both of them were trying to protect the other. And I could see that, but it was scary for her. And when I was on the phone and I heard that knocking with them, and you could tell when somebody's on the phone and doing a knocking, and it was like, you could tell it was in the background. So, and she was just as sweet as could be. She was just as sweet as could be. So my darlings, that is the Help I'm Haunted little story for tonight. And it's scary to a certain degree. But I can tell you this. If I would have seen anything come around those doors, like I saw something here, that when we first moved in, a hand came between the door and the door jamb. Very small, thin hand. The door was open, the light was on, and I could see something from where I sat. I could see something that was behind the door, and there was a hand that came between the door, right underneath the bottom hinge, and wrapped around the door. And I'm like, oh, heck no, pal. No way. Who are you? And you're not staying. And that's how I've always handled these. Bottom line, period. I've never nothing like that before. Nothing. So let me tell one more. Let me see if I have another. Let me see if I have another one. When we first moved into this condo, um, there's a lot of people that move in and out throughout the condos. Some go to college, which is some, I don't know what they do. I don't care. I just want to be by myself. We came down here so my son could go to college. And then that thing hit in 2020, and everybody just kind of, and that plan just kind of went by. So we stayed, and it's been a nice day, but I'm ready to go back, and I will be soon, hopefully this year. But when we first moved in here, we were hearing screaming upstairs every night. Now, this is kind of built, ours is one level. This condo is one level. And then the ones upstairs are, there's like a townhouse split. Like one place is over one section of ours, and then the other is over one section. Every night I would hear this screaming upstairs, and it was blood curdling. It was that B movie scary blood curdling scream. And finally one night, Ian came in, knocked on my door, and he said, "Mom, do you hear that?" He said, "I can't sleep. Who is upstairs?" I said, "I don't know, but we're going to find out, because somebody's either getting hurt up there." And it was different screams. One night it would sounded like a guy. Another night it would sound like a girl. It was just totally different. When I came in here, I did a live stream on Facebook. I don't even know where it is. You might even still be able to find it on there. But during the live stream, there were people that said, "Do you have a little girl? Do you have a little kid?" "No." "Do you have a little girl?" "No." We hear something saying, "Mommy, help." And you could hear it coming over. You could hear it coming over the microphone. You could hear afterward it was saying, "Mommy, mommy, help, mommy." This little voice. Then I was on a podcast with somebody else, one of the first ones that I had done live with someone. And finally, this man stopped and he said, "Do you have a little kid?" I said, "No, of course I don't. No." We were talking about other stuff, and he said, "Wait till you hear this," because it was within 5 minutes from when we started. You could hear this little kid, is a little voice saying, "Mommy, mom, mommy." And he said, "That just is blowing me away." He said, "I like it, but that's just blowing me." I said, I don't know if it's here. I don't know what it is." So one night the screaming is going on, and my son came out and he said, "Mom, I'm telling you right now, I'm going upstairs." I said, "No, you're not." "No, you're not." "I am." And I said, "Listen, you stay down here. You keep the door open. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to knock, and you have your phone ready in case you need to call 911. You're not going up there. You're going to stay. You're going to stay behind." Okay. He didn't like it, but he did. I went upstairs and I kind of leaned over the railing and I looked in the window. There's absolutely no furniture in there. Nobody was living up there. And we heard these noises continuously, to the point where I called our landlord and I said, "Look, I don't know what's going on up there, but can you contact that landlord? Because at night, the screams that have come out of there are blood curdling. And it's very unnerving." So he called, and the landlord came out the next day with the other landlord, knocked here and said, "Can you?" And I said, "Sure." And I went up there with him. We walked through that condo and it was completely vacant, empty, no furniture, nothing. And I said, "Well, we can clear it." And of course, these guys. Now listen, we are in Southern and there are lots of Baptistes in here. And, you know, telling that you've got a psychic living around here. And I said, don't worry about it. You know, trying to explain it, don't worry about it, you know, whatever. So I did what I could up here. And after they left, I went up, sprinkled salt around, did my thing and whatever, hung iron. I've got iron keys hanging all over. And that was it. Finally, it went away. But that was, I don't know if something happened up there or not. But what's so funny is the townhouse on this side, over my office and over the kitchen, there was a couple young girls that would come up here. Now I'm right here by the front window, and I would open the window because I like fresh air and everything. So I would open the window, and then I noticed I was starting to get an audience because people were coming and sitting on the steps that were going upstairs to listen to me. Well, evidently somebody thought that I was of another persuasion, that I was casting or doing something here. So must have been some girl that was doing stuff herself, because I caught her one day. She came down here and she was laying things in front of my window. They were banishing things. So I know she was scared. They were in front of my window, and then, you know, whatever. I immediately went down or went out the door, and I said, "Excuse me, can I ask you what you're putting there?" The look on her face, pure fright. And I said, "Look, I'm not going to hurt. I don't know what you think I am. I'm not going to hurt you. So let's do this. I don't know who you are, what you do. Same. You stay in your lane. There's plenty of room for all of us. You don't need to worry." She moved out within a week. So I don't know what was her deal, but anyway. So the neighbors, see, I don't have neighbors like that. I'm in a particular where there's buildings. So my condo and the 2 townhouses above me is one building. So, and it's all brick, and it's not like there's a hallway, and it's not a contained condo. It all has outside entrances and that sort of thing. So that's it. So that was, and then I started seeing some things, and then the cats started seeing a lot, especially Bilbo would sit in the hall and look up toward, and I have a little video one time of these orbs and everything else that were kind of flying around him and everything. But for that part, it was gone. One time I saw someone standing, well, not one time. One time I saw someone standing in the hallway where you would go by Ian's room, and he was a man that had the white t-shirt on, and I saw one arm, and that was it. Another time I was walking through to my office, and I glanced in the kitchen, and there was a figure in the kitchen by the refrigerator. So I just kind of, when I saw that, I came and sat down at my desk, and I said, "Hey, let me know what you want for dinner tonight." I didn't hear anything. So I got up, nobody there. So every now and then, I don't know what's happened in here. This was an Airbnb before we got here. So who knows? But I think that it's pretty much clean and clear at this point. But those were scary. Those were scary. But as far as here, I'm going to tell you, I don't get scared when I go into those places. I get unnerved. And I have a very good barometer that will tell me, is this place not okay? Is this place upsetting? Is this place? So yeah, it was kind of, oh, hold on a second. Jessica, thank you, my darling. Thank you. Very kind. Thank you for your sweet comment. Thank you. There's another little There's another little anonymous. I don't know what happened with the anonymous, but anyway, so there you go. All right. So thank you so much for that. Now, I'm going to go through because all of you are so kind coming through. And let's welcome some of the new people. Here we are. Susan, new member. Bless you and thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Wendy, thank you. Love to have you here. Thank you. And Nancy, thank you so much. Welcome. Hi there, Jersey. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So glad that you're here. Wendy, love you, Lady Zelda. I love you back. Thank you for your dedication and support. Well, you're quite welcome. And thank you for yours too. You are always here and I appreciate it. Colleen is a new member. Thank you. Oh, look at that little. I love your profile pictures. Wendy, thank you so much for the 5 gifts of fate and fortune with True Oracle. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Dar, my darling, I love and appreciate you all and all you do for us, LZ. Thank you so much. And you're very welcome. Elvis, look at that, has become a member. Angel, my darling, there you are. Thank you. Thank you. Aunt BB, let's get that like button up, y'all. Did you forget to put your DNA on it? If you do, I'll send some memberships out. Who's going to go first? There you go. That's incentive. Let's go. Let's go. That's incentive. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Aunt BB. Thank you. Nova Scotia. I want to do a little roll call. You don't have to give me your address. I want everybody to just tell me, are you in the South? Are you in the North? Are you in USA? Are you in Canada? What state are you from? Tell me, what state are you from, my darlings? Tell me. Where are you? Where are you right now? I'm seeing Massachusetts and all things in here. Ruby, love you back, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. There's the South. There's the Midwest, Eastern Kentucky, Montana. Oh my gosh. In Florida, Minnesota, Michigan, North Carolina. Oh, I love it. New Jersey, Texas, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana. There's Aunt BB. She's kicking in. Looky, looky. Get your memberships, my darlings. Get your memberships. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. Look at you. Thank you all so much for yours. So Colorado, New Jersey, Northeast Georgia, Connecticut, beautiful Massachusetts, the South Central Illinois, Florida, South Missouri girl in a Florida world. There you go. Virginia, that's how I feel. I'm Northern by birth, Midwestern by birth, technically, but Southern by the grace of God. Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Texas, Virginia, South Dakota, Roxy, Wisconsin, Washington, Oregon, Ohio, Florida, South Florida, Washagal, Washington. I love that. Kansas, East Tennessee, Virginia, Georgia, Canada, Canada, love it. Happy 4th, Norfolk County. There you go. Standing Stones. Bless you, my darling. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you. Thank you. Massachusetts, but not in Canton. There you go. Akron, Ohio. I have family in Akron, Ohio. Oh, ho. Ohio originally, sending Florida, Wisconsin, Missouri, Colorado. There's some waves. Hello. Colorado, Vancouver, Nova Scotia, California, Central Valley, Midwest, Iowa. All I know, Iowa way. I love that song. Louisiana, Tennessee, Washington, New Jersey, Oregon, Beaverton, Alabama. Thank you to Aunt BB, that's for sure. In Ohio, Florida, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana. I'm from Tennessee and currently in Florida. Thank you, Aunt BB. There, that's right, Kelly got there. Hi, Kelly from Texas, beautiful lady. Hampton, Virginia. I used to live in Hampton, Virginia, right on Chesapeake Avenue. Michigan. Let's see, where Florida, Pittsburgh, Southern Louisiana, Halifax. Oh my goodness. Canada, Oh my goodness. Look, you're going to break Aunt BB. You're going to break her. So, and while you're putting that in, please do me a favor and like and subscribe and even share this. That helps the channel. I would like to get to 30,000 subscribers before the end of this year. I'm going to say it that way. Pennsylvania, Northern Cali, New Jersey, Texas, from Enfield, Nova Scotia, Canada. I love it, Shirley. Thank you so much. Aunt BB, she is amazing, isn't she? How is the little kitty? How's the little kitty? I keep wanting to check in with you. Northern Atlanta. Let's see. We welcome you back to the South, Lady Zelda. Thank you so much, Lori. Kelly, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee. I love Nashville. They used to have a restaurant there on the West End that was called, I can't remember. See, it went out of business, but it was every time I went there, which was about 3 or 4 times a month. I loved it. I would eat there all the time. And then they went bust. The Zone in Arizona. Hi. I love it. Colorado. I'm near Nolans. Well, there you are. I've got to find a very scary one to share with you. I want to share you this because I want to show you that not every paranormal investigation or card reading turns out where you feel like you have to run for your life, or you've got scarecrows that are running through the fields and you feel like you have to burn them, or you feel like, you have to run, or any of these things, because there are residuals that people can live with. Evidently, there's one away. I'm so glad of that too, because, I don't like when people get that disturbed, especially kids and animals. Atlanta, Georgia, Arkansas. I love it. I'm from Tennessee, but live in Michigan. Linda. Beaverton, Alabama, Zelda. Well, welcome to you. Thank you very much for the 1 free month membership gift. Texas here. Welcome. I'm a Buckeye by blood, but a hillbilly by choice. Tracy, I get it. The moment I was able, and I'm sorry, I love you, Ohio, but I was just so bored. I was on a farm. We had a haunted farm that I lived on, and we battled with that farm all the time. It was something else. But the moment that I was able to skedaddle, I did. I did not like the winters, and I was bored to death. And I knew that there was much more than what I could ever think in this world to see. And I saw the majority of it. And I've been very thankful. Last time I was back to Ohio, I went to visit my stepdad's grave, was in 2017, almost 10 years ago, if you can imagine. So I don't have any reason to go back anymore. So, it's not like I'm going to go back for any high school reunions or anything like that. So it's nothing. Bel Air, Maryland. Hi there. Welcome to you. No one else here from Arizona? Well, I think there were a couple of people, my darlings. California, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Texas. You guys, we're all over the place. We really do. Nova Scotia, Canada, Auntie's the best. And by the way, your Independence Day, was it yesterday or today? Well, yesterday, I think. And happy Independence Day to you. Happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. Texas. You have a birthday on Sunday. Well, here we are. Auntie's the best, isn't she? Absolutely. Absolutely. Give me a second. I lost you. Where did you go? Here we are. Here we are. Get ready. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dia. Happy birthday to you and many more. There you are, my darling. Thank you for being here. Love it. Love the original and new. I do too. I'm going to tell you what else. I got all these little fragrance creams from Avon. Do you remember Sweet Honesty from the 70s? And it smells just as good. That's a nice everyday fragrance. But now the one that I really like is called Haiku. And if you've not smelled that one, oh, it is lovely. I wear a scent every day. Something. I love it. Aunt BB is the best. I moved from Nashville. Broadway is popping on the Gulch. Yeah. Youngtown, Arizona. Yay. Let me see. In fall, do you have a Fall River accent, Colleen? Because we love you if you do. I'll never forget when I went to Lizzie Borden's house. That was a lot of fun. But I went with the Navy officer, the one that was a little stuffed shirt. But I had a blast. That was Salem, Ohio, and not Massachusetts. A couple of these stories I have told are from Salem, Ohio. And I bought a horse that was when I was barrel racing in Nankin, Ohio. I know that you know where Nankin is. His name was Senator Shadow. He was a little small to show otherwise, and I'm 5'10", so he looked a little lopsided. But that horse could barrel race. He was registered Appaloosa, and he was fast. I loved it. Salem, Ohio, bless you. Hi there, Terry. Oh my gosh, bless you. We have a beautiful chat. Bless you all. Yes, we do. I know you are international too. Well, yeah. I'm a child of the world now. I'm pretty sure. The hand coming around the door would unnerve the nerves in my adrenal. It caught me off guard. It certainly did. Pardon me. Pardon me. Naggy or Shaggy made my nose a little at. Here we are back again. Okay. Whew. Hi, Marigold. Hi. You're quite welcome, my darling. Very much so. Finally here. Well, good evening. I'm happy that you are. Love the Addams family. I do too. Listen, if you go on Tubi, because sometimes, and especially lately, I've gotten off the, did Jesus ever eat a grilled cheese kick at like 2 or 3 o'clock at night, in the morning, rather. And I started watching Tubi again. And you know that Tubi is the best. I mean, but I'll tell you what I did do. I went on Amazon and I bought the Night Stalker series, not the movies. I like the movies, but I like the series. Night Stalker. You remember that? Oh, heavens. That was do you know that was the #1 show, Night Stalker series, that I don't even remember what network had it. This is Petey. This is Petey. Say hello, everyone. Oh. Look, Petey gave the thumbs up. Oh, that's so funny. So look, South Georgia, Ontario, thank you. I appreciate Ontario too. Thank you. Thank you. Aunt BB, Lady Zelda, if you don't have plans Saturday, we'll all be waiting for you. I don't have any plans. Oh, Chloe is fine. Yes. Matter of fact, she won't go outside alone anymore. You have to tell the story. Remember, 25 miles away. If I can remember the true story, I will be glad to do that. I'm going to do that. I can't remember when it was, but it doesn't matter because it happened. So Aunt BB has been a friend and supporter of this channel for a long time. You see how he's looking? This is Ian's kitty. And Ian, you're such a cornball. He saw Ian coming out of the hallway and he was just fixated on Ian. It's hilarious. Anyway, Aunt BB's friends, I believe, you can stop me if I'm wrong. Aunt BB's friends had a kitty, Chloe, and she was outside and the neighbor kids got a hold of her. I'm cutting this short because I don't know I can't remember the details. Got a hold of her. Maybe here's what I'll do. I'll just look up the email and I'll read it. How's that? Maybe. Because I don't like to tell stories and not have the goods. You know what I mean? We need the goods. It's finally getting dark here. It's about 8:20. Oh, come on now. Jiminy Christmas. Let me see. This was February 20th. This is her email. And it reads, "Hi, Lady Zelda. I know you are very busy with Nancy's case, but I need your help, please. I want to give you all the information, but I don't want to make this a long email." Wait a minute. I need to get your permission to be reading this, don't I? Is it okay with you, my darling Aunt BB? Is it okay if I read this email for our friends here? Thank you. Everybody, y'all so cute. I have to fix, look, it's getting darker. Do you see the difference in the light you see down here? Okay, thank you. I will do that, but I need to fix my green screen because that stuff just puts me, there we go. All right. Okay, well, thank you. Now that I've done it first and I ask permission, that's the way it goes. All right, so here we are. My godchild's, this is one that just got married last year, and her husband, not going to name names, found a kitten about 4 years ago. At the time, he lived with his father and took the kitten in and raised her. By the time the young ones got married, the father was so attached, they left the cat. Her name is Sadie. Every once in a while, Sadie would cry to go outside. They would take her out under the carport, but sit next to her. This has been going on for a few years now. This Monday, now this was dated February 20th of this year. This Monday, the dad was sitting under the carport and his phone rang. He ran inside to get the phone and back outside. No more than 2 minutes. Sadie wasn't there. What happened? She never leaves. He thought this was odd. Maybe she walked next door or in the backyard. Can't go far. He just ran around to grab the phone. Sadie had a breakaway collar plus a GPS tracker on. They walked the neighborhood and followed the GPS tracking collar. Oh my gosh, Zelda, they found the breakaway collar in the street about a block down was her GPS tracking collar. Someone stole and kidnapped her. They immediately, my heart fell when I read this too. They immediately called the police and made a report. The officer that came was top notch. He went through the area, looked at everyone that had cameras. They went through these cameras and nothing. No signs of Sadie or the person that took her. Here comes the shady part. There is always a shady part, isn't there? Tuesday evening, they were sitting outside, hoping Sadie would return. They see two kids around 11 years old try to pick up a cat across the street. They immediately ask the kids, "What are you doing?" And the cat doesn't belong to you. Kids passed it off as though they wanted to play with it. And I told them, no way, these kids know something. Well, yesterday comes around and he tells the kids, "You see my Sadie, there's a reward." They claim no, but they will look around. You know, kids talk a lot, and they proceeded to tell them where they lived. The same officer was called, and he went to the kid's house this morning. Hold on, there's a gnat. Come here, you. I feel like Mr. Miyagi with that stuff. Anyway, he told them. The same officer was called. He went back to the kid's house this morning. The father answered and knew all about the cat. Of course, the kids claimed they found the cat, etc. The parents took their kids to a Mardi Gras parade Monday night, hours after they took Sadie, about 15 miles away. They brought Sadie with them. Now, can you imagine taking a cat to a Mardi Gras parade? I have so much to say, but I can't hear. According to the kid's father, Sadie was getting aggravated and was hissing at them, and they opened the car door and let her go. Can you believe this? I'm crying as I'm typing this. What is going on? Of course, Mardi Gras parades have lots of noise, not to mention Tuesday was Mardi Gras. Every outlet, rescue group, Facebook, local news outlets have been notified, as well as Sadie's flyer has been shared with every house and business in a 3-mile radius. I wonder what would have happened if they would have done this with Nancy. I can't put up all this in your reading request from hence the email. Of course, I will pay you. And no, of course I will. If complete the reading request form, their credit card, blah, blah, blah. She talks about that. Okay, we don't care. Because I didn't want her to pay. Included is Sadie's flyer. Lady Zelda, can you please tell me if we're looking in the right area? Sadie is 3 miles radius. Everyone is walking around to find her. If we have to go 5 to 10 miles, we will. I apologize in advance. And she goes on and she tells me what her number is and so on and so forth. And believe me, Sadie is just an angel. So I write her back and said, try not to panic. I need some maps where you think she was last seen. Any marker, any indicators, just a regular map, and put a star or a mark near. I have the street names too. I'll do what I can to find this sweet girl. So she did that. She sent me over the map. She sent me everything. And I told her, I don't have those emails. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was another email address. Anyway, I basically told her that Sadie is near this particular house and she was in this area. She near a white house. It had a fence around it. You went around back. There may have been a dog. I can't even remember all this. They were just getting ready to leave. And one of them said, just a minute, I want to go back. And they went behind this. She sent me a picture of the house. And it looked exactly like I described. And they found Sadie. Now, poor little Sadie, you're absolutely right, my darling. Why the heck kids? Kids. Okay, Aunt Baby, thank you so much. See? Brain. You said a white house with bushes and a fence. They found the white house and the bushes and the fence, and they found Sadie. That didn't take long. I think that was, within the same day? Yes, and they had a dog. I think that was the same day, wasn't it, my darling? I think so. Well, I know how devastated I felt about Sammy. I mean, and all the rest of them. It's like an Italian funeral around here. So yeah, they went off, and so when I had the map, I used the pendulum and the markers and got right to her. Next day, I emailed you at 2 a.m., right? Let me see if, oh, I just closed that. Let me see if I have that. I can't stand animal abuse. I get, right? Right? But to my point, my darlings, it's so funny because hearing all of that and reading that again just kind of takes a wave over me. If immediately this was done for Nancy, because evidently there are no flyers. Someone, JLR, is in a different area right now, and he's putting up flyers. Everywhere he goes, he puts up flyers. Excuse me. I don't understand this. And I'm just going to give you my opinion the best that I can. I believe that this is a huge. Oh, wait a minute. Look. I have to use this to cover this up. Oh, that's right. I did. I did. I did. I said, hold on. She needs me. I got to go. Thank you, Captain Harris. That's right. Exactly. I said, wait a minute. I got to go. That was it to it. That was funny. That's funny. Wait, let me go back there and take a look at this. Because usually it has these emails grouped. Yeah, it was 2 a.m. It was 2:20 when I wrote back. She wrote me at 2 a.m. and it was 2:20. Let me see if there's anything else here. Oh, let me see. Okay, I can't find where anyway. So anyway, so Aunt Bibi says, let me get the map. We went through this whole thing. I mean, this was like, hello, we were going to make sure that we, and then she emailed me again. Oh, wrong thing. Anyway, so that was it. Oh, this is where she wrote to me. She said, I wrote to her and said, little Sadie, oh my goodness, bless her, and all that. So anyway, she wrote to me and said, Lady Zelda, you are never going to believe this. We found Sadie. Randy, who is Sadie's dad, plus 20 plus friends had been looking for her all day. A little while ago, everyone was leaving, including Randy. And they all decided to finish putting up the extra flyers before they left. As Randy was driving off, he received a text picture of a cat in a backyard. It looked like Sadie, but he had so many ups and downs today, he didn't want to be let down again. He sent this to Des to confirm, and Des yelled, yes, that's her. So Des and Connor headed toward the house. Randy also turned around, heading toward the house too. They called the number and spoke to the husband whose wife saw Sadie by the back door. She asked to let Sadie in, and he couldn't because they have a big dog that was inside. So they asked to please go pick up Sadie and hold her. They were 30 seconds away. He was resistant because he didn't want to get bit, but they assured him that Sadie wouldn't bite. He handed the phone to his wife, and he went and picked up Sadie and stood by the back door, and the wife told Des, just go in the backyard and the gate is unlocked. When Des and Connor went through the gate, it made a noise, and Sadie jumped from the guy's arm and ran into the back of the yard under a tree. So they were calling her and so forth, and Des approached. She reached out and grabbed Sadie. An hour later, she calmed down, began herself. So, she went on and explained it most, but she said, remember, you gave me the information on Sadie's location in the house? Wait until you see the picture of the house. You said she was gravitating around. Once again, I cannot thank you enough. And she sent me a picture of the house, and that was it. And a picture of little Sadie. Oh my goodness. She's so cute. I just love, why do I love cats? I've always had a ton of cats. Anyway, so that's the story of little Sadie. That's okay, Aunt BB. Who knows what I am, and I still talk a lot. So there we go. Did I miss anything in the chat? Our Chihuahua Frankie was lost for a month in February. I was hysterical, right? Someone found him and he was fine. Oh, I know. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So, my darlings, listen, I don't know. Listen, here's what I'm thinking. Because, you know, somebody has been around since before the 4th of July, 250 years ago. And I kind of wanted to do a little video call with him and say, what do you remember it was like when that happened in America? Because he doesn't call America the USA. He calls America, America. And I just am thinking that I might want to do that. Plus, I'm getting ready to give you the next video for Vale Keep for the long ride home. Vale. There's some stuff that I didn't even know. So, and I want to show you a few things, my darlings. For those of you who like vampires, like this guy, I want to invite you over to the Crosse Chronicles, where you're going to learn all about Tule. That's where this guy is. This about Tule is supposed to be a true story. Now, you know how I am with vampires, right? And this is a story that comes from Lord Greggor's stories. And it's supposed to be true, but we can't verify it. But it's supposed to be legend true. So I modernized it. So if you like that, and I'm also going to tell you this, if you like, wait, where are you there, Tule? Okay. And if you like werewolves, well, this is actually, his name is Lord Reynard. Lord Reynard. He is also in the Crosse Chronicles as well. So there we are. I want to invite you in. All of those links, my darlings, are in the chat, as well as the Avon. Now I want to show you just a couple of things if you want to hang out. Lady Zelda, some want to see Sadie's picture. Oh, yes. Let me get a picture of Miss Sadie. Oh, that little angel. Let me get her. Let me get her. Let me get this little pea pod. Let me get her here. A werewolf. Listen, you know me. I'm into all that stuff, so I have to share it. Here comes little Sadie. She's an angel, is who she is. Let's get her right here. This is little Sadie. Isn't she a little sweet pea? Look at this. Let me get her. Let me get her. I could just squeeze her. She's so cute. Don't you love her? I just love her. There we go. I just love her. The links are in the description of both True Oracle and this. But yeah, isn't she a beautiful little sweetheart? That little look on her face, like, look. She is pretty. She's a pretty little thing. She was scared. Bless her little heart. She's pretty, though. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Little Sadie, we're so glad you're home and safe. Look at that little sweetheart. Little Sadie. Little Sadie the wiener girl. There we go. She is a pretty little thing. Now, I want to show you a couple little things. The lipstick. I found my color. It is the Avon, and it actually is a lip pencil, and I love it because it stays. I mean, you get a little bit of residue, but it stays. But look at this. This is Avon Cashmere. It is so pretty. It is like a lip balm. This is what it looks like. And watch. Well, maybe if you're going to come out here. There you go. You know, some of these things I don't want to squeeze too hard because you squeeze and it's like, and this is so pretty and it stays on. And I love to put that on there. Oh, I love that. So now, you know how I use lipstick for blush? I don't have to anymore. Look at this little guy, part of the Glimmer selection. This is cream blush. And look at that. It is so pretty. And all I do is dot it on here. That's all I do. And then I just rub it in. I love it. So if you want to check it out, you're not obligated. I want to thank you anyhow for being here. Here is another lip color that I think is beautiful. And look at this. And it's like a pen. You click the bottom and it raises up. So there's not any of this. Hello. It's very nice. So there we are. I can help you with what colors you need, Pickle Mama, but what colors do you wear? Do you wear yellow? How do you look in yellow, or how do you look in blue, or how do you look in red? Those are the things. I love cream blush. Can you please add your Avon link in the chat? I'll be glad to. There you go. There you go. It's lovely. And you know, I got to tell you something. I used to be this matte. I still am. I like matte lipsticks. If you have a really smoky eye, and I love a matte lipstick, so it doesn't really compete. But this is so pretty. And listen, it is affordable. It is literally affordable. So it's free shipping for the next 3 days, my darlings, if you want to go over there and look, and I appreciate it. So it's something I did just because of Skin So Soft, if you want to know the truth. So there you are. Now I have to blot it off. So there. I'm one of those people that can wear any color, and I'm almost there. I can't wear real corally oranges, but I'm almost there. Almost there. So my picture shows my coloring. Okay, so you look like you are a summer. So you're going to want to go with more corals and neutral pink. Anything that says neutral, you're going to be okay. Like a neutral pink, a neutral color. This cashmere color would look fantastic on you. And I think it really only comes in the one, maybe, I'm not sure that it only comes in the one right now. But both of these colors you would look fantastic in. So there we are, my darlings. I wear sweet honesty through childhood. Oh my, I used to wear through in teen, my years to, right? I wore sweet, and they've got all these wonderful retro scents. My mom used to wear, well, we wore sweet honesty, and my mom used to wear, like, I can't even remember what it is. Let me look here. I need to look and see what it is. And they're getting ready to come out with a new campaign too, and I think that's wonderful. But they've got a lot of stuff for summer. And listen, if you like Korean skincare, like I like Korean skincare, this is very affordable based on what you get versus if you go anywhere else to get Korean skun or skincare. Let me see. Let me see. But I want to tell you the fragrance. Why can't I talk? Fragrances. Haiku is my new favorite, but they have far and away. My mother used to wear Night Magic, and it smells so good. And Imari. Oh my gosh. But you can get little samples of it. And there's a lot. There's these samples. In fact, I'm going to show you this right now. Candid. I believe they had Candid. I do believe that. Let me grab this link here. There you go, my darlings. Let me see this. There is Candid right there. So if you go here on this is my website. If you go here and you like something, you see the little shopping bag right here. You click on the shopping bag and the campaign may be over now. But if you find something like that, but they do have Candid. And I bought a lot of these, the Far and Away Sweet, because sometimes I just want a little bit of scented. I don't like to wear heavy perfume sometimes in the daytime because it bothers the kitties. So especially with, oh yeah, all those. Oh yes, the lemon scented. I sure do remember that, and I couldn't wear it on the farm because the bugs would come up and try to eat me. But these are very good size, and sometimes I just like a scented cream, put on your elbow, Gina Tay, right? Put on your elbows, that sort of thing, before you go to bed at night, make you smell good. Anyway, my darlings, Freshwater was my favorite nail polish color back in the day. Oh, I remember that. Rare Pearls. Loved Hawaiian Ginger. They have all those. They're bringing them all back. I think they're figuring out that us girls that were back in the 70s and 80s still like that sort of thing. Then I started wearing Estee Lauder Beautiful, and I wore that for a long time, and I got so many compliments, but I get tired of it. I just get tired of it. So I like to wear different scents. But anyway, my darlings, I thought I would come on here and just say hello to you and see what's going on. I got to figure out what I'm going to feed Ian and me. And let me check and make sure that I have thanked everyone. Carrie, thank you so much for the Cash App, my darling. And Jessica, again, thank you so much for the Venmo. I appreciate you so much. Thank you very, very much. I love this question. I have been so attracted to and saving cats and kittens since I was a little girl. What do you think that means, Lady Zelda? Am I part cat? Possibly, but I think that you're 100% angel. And, sometimes you have to have those out there that are doing the Lord's work. And even though I love dogs, cats obviously are my gig, unless I get Bran. And then he's my gig too. We'll see what happens. Oh gosh, Sharon. Oh wow. If okay, I might decide to be here on Saturday. What I want to do is really, here's what I want to do. I want to really, really rest up because that remote viewing takes it out of me. It takes about 2 days for me to recover. And hello, New Hampshire. And it just is this, because I don't know what it is. But I'm to the point now I want to see because I'm ticked off. I don't know what happened, what's happening. This 5 years, somebody wrote and said, no, Zelda, you're wrong. It might be 10 years. Whatever it is, 5 years, 10 years, this rehab, evidently he said that he was laying on some rugs, if you know what I mean, while he did this crime. Oh. So he gets to go to rehab, and that's $30,000. So taxpayers of Arizona, there you go. You got to pay for rehab for somebody, 90 days rehab and 10 years in probation. I rescue cats and dogs. Have 2 rescue cats outside, 1 inside. Rescued 3 dogs. Oh, you are an angel. You are an angel. But I may have a certain somebody here. I don't know if this is going to be this weekend or not. So if so, I want to do that little interview with him and say, hey, what was it like right after America had its independence 250 years ago? Because he has a birthday. So anyway, my darlings, howdy, just got in from the doctor's appointment. Well, Nanette, I hope you're all well. So I'll tell you what, my phone froze. I had to restart my phone. I'm glad I made it back. I'm glad you are too. Paige, I just asked Google. It was called honeysuckle blossom. Yes. Oh my gosh, I remember that. I'd love to find a sample of Jean Naté. It's to see if it triggers. Listen, I gotta tell you this. One time I was in the drugstore with it wasn't a drugstore. I don't even know what it was. One time I was in somewhere, a beauty counter with my cousins. And this older lady comes in and she's whispering. Now, I don't know. I never could understand the premise behind that. Like you have to pretend or you have to gatekeep what it is that you wear, or it's just something so, hey, maybe I'll get to that point. If I start whispering what I wear, gosh, look out. Somebody might have diarrhea. You know what I mean? I got to tell you this. Somebody said something today that made me literally gag during a psychic reading. I'm not kidding. I have that reflex that if I get a big visual on it, don't do that to a psychic. Don't put a big visual in their head, because she heard me selling Buicks right on the phone. It was not pleasant. Anyway, we were standing in the at the counter, and this woman comes up and she says, "Do you have Jean Nate?" We're just kind of all looking at each other. And my cousin goes, "She's wanting Jean Naté." And she called it Jean Nate. And from that moment on, you know, it was Jean Nate. Okay, so do you want to hear what made me gag? I'll tell you. I'm not proud. Um, okay, everyone. All right, we'll calm down now. Yeah, so I have to. Okay. Here we are. I don't want to say too much. She has, yes, you've got to look in there, honey. There's all kinds of things in there, especially the Korean skincare is very good. The Anu, look for Anu is very good. Okay. So I'm not going to gag again. All right. So she's in this thing and she's very strong. She likes to micromanage people, places, things. She likes this one guy, but she doesn't like him. She thought he was not for her and blah, blah, blah until he started dating someone else. And all of a sudden she was in love with him, you know. So today she's telling me about all these appointments that she was having. I'm going to do this. And listen, I only tolerate a little bit from people that are ridiculous. And so she started to, well, I'm going to be whitening my teeth and I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that. And when you have someone, okay, there is a name for that. I don't remember what it is, but when you end your sentences when they rise, like, huh? Like, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that and I'm going to be doing this. That pretty much means that you are looking for approval. All right. So she's going on and on and on. I've got this appointment. Got it that. All right. And I'm sitting here like. So then she says, I made an appointment with the eye doctor. I'm going to have something done. And she went on to describe it about an oil gland. And it hit me. No, this isn't the nurse. It hit me with this visual, and I just started gagging. Now, here's the gig. When I started gagging, she started laughing. You don't want to do that. So, this is from my when she was laughing. This is what my son does. Oh, why isn't it working? Hello. Anyway, whatever. So it's not working. It usually is saying shut or whatever. It's not kicking in, whatever. Glad I got the knocks when I did. So I said, if you don't mind, I don't think it's funny. And she said, what? It's not funny that they're going to do this. So she repeats herself. That hot Cheeto girl was almost ready to come out. And I'm doing everything that I can to not like be have that reflux take over. And I said, let's just not talk about that. You don't really need a psychic reading for your eye gland, do you? No, but da, 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 da. And she's thinking that it's funny. Finally, I just told her, I'm going to tell you immediately. Because I always lower my voice. I don't yell. I'm going to tell you immediately. If you insist on continuing and you do this, then I will have you banned from this psychic line. You will be refunded. I will hang up on you. You will not receive a refund from this call. I will fight you if that happens. Oh, okay. Well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And before you know it, and this is where Zelda, pardon me, gets, because, I just had it. And she said, oh, and then, I just want you to know, okay, well, maybe, oh, you wouldn't want me to send you any pictures, would you? So I said, no. What I would like to have a picture of is your face when you go to the veterinarian and have your butt plug cleaned out. And I could hear her gasp. I said, listen, I'm done. I'm done. We're going to end this here. I'm done. Oh, okay. Well, I'm really sorry. Have a great weekend. I said, I'll be glad to have a great weekend. As soon as we hang up, my great weekend starts. Shall we do that now? Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess so. And I said, by the way, this guy, he's not going to be the problem. You are. What? I said, yeah, our time is almost up, but you're almost the problem because you're the micromanager. And if you act like that with me, you're definitely going to act like this with him. And that's why he is hesitating. He's not going to invest a lot into you if you can't act like somebody. Oh, well, can you extend my time? No, I'm signing off now. Have a great weekend. Mother. And that was the end of it. I'm done. Listen, I'm funny. I'm a funny person. But do that stuff. I just don't tolerate those types of readings. I don't baby people. I say the way it is, all that other. And that's just the way it is. If any of you here have had a reading with me, then I'll be, because I'm the first one who'll say, listen, don't be scared, because people get scared to talk to me. And I don't want anybody to feel that way. And it's because they've been conditioned with other people that, tell them the bad stuff. And I just don't want to do that. So I always tell them, look, we already know the bad stuff. Let's look for the good. Let's look how you can get through this. Let's look what you need to do to navigate this. And that's how I read. That's how I was taught. It's not like this, oh, you've got the bad energy around you. Let's do this. You pay me $250 and I will pray that away for you. Oh, you don't have $250? Then no prayer. You keep that. It get worse. No prayer. Oh, you have $250. When I get it in my little bank account, I will pay that for you. Okay. All right. No, oh, good. I got your $250. Let me pray. Okay, I'm done now. Oh, you got more things that have come up around you. You're a good person. Nobody ever think that. They always cut you down. They always use you. They use you for your money. They use you for your love. You do so much for other people. But now for another $50, I'll change their mind and do this. For another $100, I will turn back the clocks. But you must send me a Rolex watch, because that's the only way we can turn back the hands of time. Oh, you don't have a Rolex watch. What kind of watch do you have? Oh, do you have a Tag Heuer? No, just a citizen's watch. Well, we can turn back the time maybe 3 months, but not very long. But once we turn it back, and with that kind of thing, oh, you're not going to get much for that. No, no, no. Oh, look, I've turned over another card. That card tells me that you have money that you are no longer keeping. Hello, Doria. Hello, there's Doria Vex. Do me a favor and go visit her channel. She's fantastic. And the link is in the description. Don't miss her. I've got all the links to all the channels. And you never know what other channels that I'm going to be voicing over, doing things at Doria. You just never know. Oh, you want to hear more from the gypsy? Okay. Don't be scared, Ruby. Oh, my goodness. But I love you and I get a good feeling. Listen, you don't need to be scared about me. There's no reason. This stuff with look at this. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. See, let's talk to the that's how they do, especially the ones on the beach in Florida that I got hold of once. Oh, you walk in, I tell you have money. Where do you get that? There's a dark looking man. He's handsome. He's waiting for you for $250. I light a candle for you. And you listen to my son laughing in the room. For 200, you just call me Gypsy Zelda. We do that. Maybe that's what I need to be for Halloween. Wouldn't take much. For $250, you pay me now, and I will bring that handsome, wonderful man to you. If you don't pay me $250, he don't come. That's the way it is. You just don't come. Oh, you only have 50 that you can pay me. Well, so the man that comes to you will be short. I can't help it. He's short. There's nothing you can do. He's a short man. No, you don't need. $50. I can't do anything. It's not worth my time. No. No, you need wealth. You need wealth. And believe me, you pay me $300. You paid me $300. I will give you this trinket. Wait, where is one? Here, take this trinket. For $300, I give you this trinket. And you don't open this. You have to bring it back to me. Now, when you come, you have to bring it back. If you don't bring it back, it will curse you. See, you are cursed anyway. You see what this is? You guys see? It will, if you don't bring it back to me, it will curse you. Then you come back, I need $400 to pay the curse off. You know? You got to pay. Listen, I will light the candle for you, but you've got to pay the candle. How much is the candle? Oh, the candle is $100. See how they do? They get you in there. When I got to tell you this, I went into, it was south of Daytona. When I was on my adventures through Florida. There you go. See, you guys needed a laugh. So there's this big, beautiful storefront, and they always make everything look so glassy and clean. It's this big, beautiful storefront. All these statues and marbles. What do they eat? I want to know. I don't know what they eat. I never see anyone they eat. So I walk in. I'm just messing around. I walk in and I'm standing in there. No, I wasn't. I should have been a theater kid. So I walk in and I'm standing there. All of a sudden, this little woman comes out. She's all wrapped up. She's got this wrap skirt. She's got this wrap top. She's got her head wrapped up. And she basically looks at me and she says, "You need a reading." I said, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Yeah, maybe I do. Look at this man. Oh, to you too, buddy. You see look at how he holds his hands. He's always like this. See? Mommy's man. So I'm saying to her, maybe I do. She says, "How much money do you have?" I said, "I don't know. How many card decks do you have?" Say, "I know the routine." Oh, here, hold on, my darling. Did I read for your daughter? See, you guys have profile names that I don't know. So, thank you. All right. So anyway, how many decks do you have? Maybe I do need one. Well, I'm going to tell you. I think you come in here and you bring a curse with you. I said, "Just one? You sure that I don't have two or three?" And she's looking at me because I'm not a hothouse lily. I just don't fall over. I said, "Maybe there's two or three. What do you see?" So she's dealing it. She has a deck of cards, this big tarot deck. I call them the intimidation decks because when they get big like that, it's for Hollywood purposes only, right? So you don't need to know anything about time you were born, anything like that, because I'm not an astrologer. I'm a psychic reader. So you don't need, if you know your birth sign, you don't even need to know that. You just tell me what's going on and we'll go. So she gets out the big intimidation deck. Now, keep in mind, there's people walking down like the boardwalk here in Daytona, right? And it's starting to get, the sun's starting to go down and the lights are still coming up. And she gets out the intimidation deck. I'm like, oh, I see things. I see how this is going to go. This is going to be absolutely grand. So she starts putting these cards down. And then this is what she does. Oh. I wanted to laugh. Believe me, it's pure theater. Don't let anybody sell you like that because that's what gives all of us a bad name. That's why the religious community doesn't like us. So she lays this one card out. Oh, look. Oh. And it's starting. And I told her, I said, "Are you all right? Do you need a stomach pill, an X-Lax? Do you need something?" "Oh, no. You're right. You have a curse." I said, "Really?" She says, "See that card? That card is not good." I said, "What does that card mean?" "Oh, it means somebody is hunting you." I said, "Hunting me? What are they hunting? What are they hunting me for?" "They're jealous of you." She does that with the eyebrow. Do you have a good friend?" "Yeah, I've got several." Well, there's one who is after your man. I said, that's funny because I don't have a man. But you will. And when you do, she will be after them. I said, oh, okay. Okay, I get it. So I'm giving her the eyebrow too. She's laying out the cards and she says, see this one. Oh, wait, accent. See this one. Yes, what is that? What I'm seeing here for you is that, oh my gosh, this is serious. You've got such bad energy around you. What have you done in your past life? I said, I don't know. I probably went around and kicked a lot of gypsies. So she's sitting here. And I said, no, wait a minute. I got a question. Doesn't that card mean? And I spouted off what it meant. And she looked at me. And I said, this card that you said that somebody was hunting me, that's not what that card means. She says, what do you mean? What do you mean? You come in here with so blasphemy. I said, blasphemy? You're the one who was the blasphemy. You're lying to me and telling me what these cards mean, and you don't have any flipping clue, lady, except you're trying to dig into my pocket. I should call the police. I said, you should. I'll wait here for him. Well, but we can solve this. We can resolve this. Oh, really? How? Well, if you give me $250, I'll pray all this away. And see, you have troubles. And if you walk out of here, I make trouble for you. I said, oh, baby, you just don't even know what you're tangling with. You want to call the police or you want me to? No, we are not going to call the police. I said, no, because you probably have some carjackers in the back and you've probably stolen from all these people. And she was just now at this point just freaking out. You must go to the front door and you must never come back. I said, you don't have to tell me twice, baby. I've been kicked out of better places. And she says, oh, no. This is bad. Oh my gosh. And she starts, I'm falling out, holding her head. Oh, the energy from this lady. Oh, the pain. Only my enemies should know. You know this stuff. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, really? So believe me, the moment, and finally all these guys come out. Now listen, these guys act like her bodyguards, but they are about 4'6" and about that big around. I'm 5'10" and I can hold my own. I could take at least two of them. So I head to the front door and they're right behind me. Don't strain yourself. I walk out and, oh, they made a big scene. Like shoving that door, taking the keys, jingle, 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 locking me out, shoveling the door. I'm standing there. I'm laughing so hard at them. I'm like, oh my heck, you guys. So that was it. And I thought, well, I'll have the cops. So I never saw the cops. They wouldn't dare call the cops on me. So that's the gypsies. And don't think, because I used to do the hiring for another psychic line. And don't think that they don't get hired on these psychic lines, because they do. And I would call them out because they would sign in 24 hours a day and they would have their names up. Mother of the Earth energy, whatever it is. I don't know what they would have up. But I used to do these little phone calls, test them. 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd call. There would be a man answer the phone. I thought this was the mother of the earth energy. Your mother. No. That's how I talk. No. Real gruff. What do you want to know? Am I going to get to talk to somebody nice and a female? This is me. I'm the mother. I said, you sound like you're a man, buddy. No. I said, well, guess what? Guess what? This is Zelda, and you're fired. What? I said, yep, you're fired. The moment that, before you even hang up your phone, your extension has been deleted. Your information has come off of the website. You just no longer exist, mother. So goodbye to you. So that's why you've got to be careful. Even now, that's why you have to be careful. Because there are those out there that will cause pain within yourself that make you feel, oh my God, but she said, but she said, and even now, and I'm sorry to say this, but even now, most of the readers that I see that read on Nancy are very good. I'm just going to tell you that. There are some that have flown off. But be cautious, because there are some people that really don't know how to read. And they're not there to be in service of others. And when you're not, it's the whole idea that you lose it. You lose it. You don't have the ability to be able to read. And that's why I am so careful. You don't capitalize off of other people's problems, pains, and upsets. And sometimes in the beginning, I had people coming in here and I've had to block them. You are wrong. And I see other people that, they get the gloves and they have a ring and you know what? That's okay. I'm flattered. If they feel that they have to do that and that they like what I'm doing so much that they want to do that, well, good. But you make sure you read well. You make sure you stay with it. Because since I started learning with my grandmother 51 years ago, I know, how could that be? I only look 30. I learned. See, I don't even read for myself. There's nothing wrong with it. But for me, I learned, if you do anything for gain, then it's not good for you. Sometimes I'll have to peek and look. But, the one time I tried reading for me, I was expecting a baby living in Siberia, and, it just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Hold on. So, absolutely, Coach Karen, you are absolutely right. The ticky-tock psychic still in denial over her loss regarding the Koberger definition or defamation lawsuit. I'm telling you, she's a lot braver than me. Accusing someone like that of a crime and coming out and bold-faced lying and telling the court, no, you're wrong. Well, she got a judgment against her for millions. I don't know where that's going to come from. She's been banned off of the talkie tick. And you know what? If you've been around the block, you can tell when somebody's giving you a good piece of bull. And yeah, I just like to make fun of them. If you give me $250, I pray that away from you. Here, you take this sacred pouch with you, but you bring it back. And when you do, you bring back another $250. And then I will pray the curse away. What? You see how that just keeps you going? It just keeps you coming back. It keeps you, oh, she's got a new account. Oh, heavens. Maybe I just need to, sometimes I like to watch. Now, listen, there are some readers on the talkie tick that I appreciate and that I like. I tried to go back on the Book of Faces for a little bit and post some shorts and do that sort of thing because it's good I mean, let's face it, my darlings, I'm branding myself. I'm marketing myself, right? But I like what we're doing here. I like this. This is fun. This is fun for me. And I want to do it right. But daggone, in a week since I've been back, there's somebody else who stole my picture, stole my and if you I have raised Cain on there and I have done everything and they don't take it down. So why post my things up there? And you always know, listen, you will always know that if you see a psychic and they've got a WhatsApp number on there, you better be careful. You better be careful because they are not from around here. And a real psychic, and this has happened in our community not long ago, where somebody came in with a WhatsApp number. They just thought they were going to be hot, you know what, hot turd from, from Turd Island. And I shut that down immediately, went on their WhatsApp and, I got them shut down. I don't like a scammer. Don't come after me and try to scam my people. And you know what the sad part is? There were some that believed that was me and paid her and was complaining to True Oracle. Hey, I paid her. Where am I going to get this reading? Never. And that's what happens. Almost is sad. It's sad. And here in the United States, reading was still illegal in many states, clear up into the 60s. So, it's all about responsibility. Take responsibility. I don't read on medical. I can tell you if your energy is good or not, and that's about it. Legal, you know how I read on the legal. But, oh, my darlings, that gal, that's right, that Miss Talkie Tick, she just might find herself behind the bars, and then what are you going to do? And I just don't think it's funny. I just don't think it's responsible. You're given a gift. You should be grateful and cherishing it and not, hey, I'm not saying that I'm right all the time. I'll tell you, there's times that I'm not right. But there are times that it seems like I'm not right. And in the end, it's like, oh my gosh, oh my God, she was right. I get that a lot. But just be careful. Watch for the WhatsApp. I would never put a WhatsApp number on. And I will never, ever. Now, I will run an ad. I'll put on there, get an email reading. Or if you buy anything from the store, it's Psychic Secrets. Psychic Secrets. That was True Oracle. We changed our name. How did that happen? True Oracle. If you buy anything from the website, then you'll probably get an email. We're doing this, or we're doing that, or we're doing this, or we're doing that. But I will never come on here and say, look, pay me $20. I'll pull 3 cards for you. No. Where's my little bubble now? Here's a good question. Here's a good question. Are curses real? And are there curses? That's an excellent question. Because going back with the troglodytes, not that far. Going back, well, maybe. In the word, it talks about curses and in the generational curse. How am I talking tonight? Generational curses, but how that all went away after the cross. Let me see. Sandra. Sometimes it takes a little minute. Is that the same name that you've got it in? Okay, let's see. Yes, I got it. Thank you, my darling. I did get it. Yep, it's me. It's me. It's me. It's Zelda Lee. All right. Thank you so much. This is, I believe now, and especially now, the only curses that we have are those that bring on ourselves that we refuse to handle. And I believe, especially if we have small children, if we do not take responsibility for our lives, straighten up and fly right, and act like somebody, and you're out stealing and caving around and doing things you're not supposed to do and landing in jail and all this other stuff. Hey, things happen, and I am not judgmental. I know people that are felons that I would trust more than others. I'm just going to tell you that. But I'm also going to say that if you can't take this responsibility for your own life and you've got a kid or someone that's around you and they look up to you and they start living the same life and they start doing the same things, oh, that's bad. That's the type of curse. And the only way that that can be broken is if the main person stops and realizes, what am I doing? I need to get help so my kids or my family or the ones that I love are not like this. Or the person that is acting like that decides to do it. I used to teach Bible in a lot of the jails, and it was sickening to me, especially in the county jails. And the one I will never forget, there was a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter who was pregnant that were all in jail at the same time for selling rug type things, rugs. And I looked at that and I thought, how thankful am I? Just when you think sometimes you have it bad, you better look around because there's somebody that might need an encouraging word. You're welcome, Colleen. You might need just a little bit of encouragement. But these people, they didn't want to change. They didn't want to change. They all had boyfriends that were in that type of business that were using the ladies to do all the labor. And then when something would happen, it wasn't their first time. It was several times. And the last I heard, the mother passed away, the grandmother passed away, and the young lady gave away her child. And I don't know where she is. And that is so sad. And there was another lady one time that was in there that came up and said to me, she said, oh, I wish I looked like you. And I said, well, honey, what are you going to say? And I said, look, you're beautiful inside and out. You've just got to remember that. I said, how old are you? And she said, get this. She said, I'm 36. Now, ladies, I think I was 50. That was 16 years ago when I did that. And she was 36. She looked older than my grandmother. And of course, she was on stuff that rhymes with Beth. And so anyway, that right there, no, I mean, all laughing and joking and funny stuff aside, that right there will bring on but you bring on your own curse. We all have to take responsibility. There's things that I've messed up in my life. And when you really mess up is when you can't let it go. That's how you really mess up. When you make a mistake and you hang on to that mistake, so then your past then becomes your present and you can't let it go. So then it starts becoming your future because you relive it daily, 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 daily. Look, you got to get off the hamster loop. Don't you want to live? That's my idea. Don't you want to live? You got to get to that point where you say, look, enough is enough. I can't do anything about that. I don't care what any other person thinks about me. I don't care. And you cannot. If I fell out every time I had somebody on here, and they're usually the psychics, if I fell out every time that I had somebody tell me that, oh, I was this, or oh, I was that, or somebody that doesn't understand calls me a name and whatever, if I hid because of that, I would never be able to get over it. At first, it really bothered me. And then I thought, well, what are we going to do? Are we living for that person, or am I living for me? And guess what? I'm living for me. And now, listen. Don't forget rice jars. It was a full moon. You can still put out your rice jar. I love the rice jar. I think after today, after listening to the after listening to everything that had happened in this hearing and everything else, I thought, hey, I need to make an app that's a cuss jar. Don't you think that was fun? That would be funny. Wait a minute. Let me see. Let me download this app that's a cuss jar. Do you like my little iPad thing? Listen. Let's get the app that's a cuss jar. Let's see. What am I going to say today? Well, that I think that'd be the most hilarious thing in the whole world. And you know what? You would just be laughing so hard that you would forget about. I got to tell you what. It's not nightly, but almost, that my son, hold on, page. I was on one psychic's page, and she told me someone to go clean their cat's litter box because they smelled like cat pee. Maybe they're having just a hard day that day, right? Pebbles, it's not hard, my darling. You get you a regular jar. If you don't have rice, use salt, use sugar. You can use oatmeal, uncooked. You write what your intention is down. You look at this every day. You think about it every day. And believe me, when you start putting, there you go, Angel. You start putting good things into your rice jars. Remember, like attracts alike. Alike attracts alike, right? I've got a bay leaf in here with house stuff on it. I've got money in here. Look at the notes. I've got love notes in my other one. I've got all kinds of different things. Yeah, I know. See, to me, you don't know what people are going through. But the rice jars, that's putting your intention. The rice attracts. It attracts, but the rice will hold it. Remember, 1 cup of rice will hold 3 cups of water. What is water? It is associated with emotion. So you can put 3 cups of your emotion into this little rice jar. And believe me, you are going to, now there is a rice app. It is on the psychic shop. If you go to, let me see if I've got a banner here I can put up. Here we are. There's the True Oracle. It is for the rice jar. The rice jar is absolutely so cute. The application, and it will help you. It will tell you all about it. It will and you don't have to buy fancy jasmine rice and balsamic and all this other regular rice. If you don't have regular rice, use sugar, use salt, use oatmeal, Use dried beans. Use dried peas. Don't let anything stop you, but don't cook them. Because then it would be hello. Right? So don't cook them. And you're on your way. Takes nothing to make the rice jar. And you can listen, if I can do it, I look back at my own life and I think, how did I live? Sometimes I think, how did I live through that? But I did. Because I always knew there was something more. I always knew there was something more. And there is. It's never too late. Somebody asked me after our last live stream, Zelda, how old are you? 66. I was thinking the other day I was 64. I don't know what happened. I lost 2 years. So I was 66. And she said, but don't you think you need to be getting ready for retirement? Aren't you too old to be doing all these channels and everything? I'm just getting started. Oh my gosh, I plan on being around for a long time. I'm just getting started. I'm learning so much. And I have learned that maybe that's why I've been here, is to prepare for what I'm doing. Maybe I'm preparing with these channels and with these. Listen, if you guys only knew everything behind the scenes, holy mackerel. And besides, how old would I be if I didn't do it? Right? So, but I think the reason, because, I've been looking for a house for a while and I've gotten close and then it's like, ooh, and then close and whew. Well, I had to just kind of let it go. And when I did that, things started coming in. And then I started learning the film business. And that, to me, my darlings, oh, hello from Australia. Hello. Today I've decided to go into chat. Well, Laura, I'm so glad because you've made my day. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Do they have the tiny lipstick samples? Yes, they have a little box of them. I think you can get those. Those are so cute. And I won't use them because I'm afraid I'll break them off. I'm just now getting started. I'm 66 years wild. There you go. And I do what I want. And that's what's so fun about it. When you start living life and you create your own economy, my darlings, my darling, I am March 15th. So you and I, dippity-doo, have the same birthday, the Ides of March. You don't have to worry about giving memberships, Pebbles. You're here. We're happy for you. Don't worry about it. We're good. Just you being here and being with us, right? But it's not that I'm getting into that business, but what a creative outlet to know something, to have something, to be something. And I can tell you this, every one of these videos, when you watch them on these channels, are getting better and better and better because I'm learning. You know why? Well, I don't have a formal education in that. I'm not letting that stop me. So I'm creating my own education. I know what I'm lacking, and I keep asking, what am I lacking? Maybe I need this. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to do that. And you know what? Either the correct application, the correct website, the correct person, or the correct, how do I want to say? editing software, CapCut, iMovie, Clipchamp, any of those, listen. It will come to you when you're ready. You don't have to push it. Parch Posey, my darling, you make sure you let us know so we'll sing you happy birthday when your birthday comes. But you create your own pathway. Because if you sit back and you wait for anybody else to do it, you're going to be waiting at that bus stop for a long time. And if you decide that you want to do something, what's wrong? Do it. Oh, I don't have any money, Zelda. Well, prepare for it. Because guess what? If money is the only thing that is holding you back, then get everything else in line. Start getting educated. Start talking to other people about it. So believe me, that's what I did. I've been at this for a little while. And you know what? I didn't know if it was going to work or not. I didn't know. I felt like I was playing around, especially with Vale Keep channel. I just felt like I was playing around. And I thought, I got to do better than this. This isn't what I had in mind. This isn't the idea. This isn't what I had in mind. And you know what? That person associated with Vale Keep says, Valiana, why not do what you want? I cannot do his accent. That burns me up more than anything. And he's here for it. And when you listen, when you see this next video, I had to take a double take. Because literally, there's a little bit of difference. I'm keeping his privacy. But believe me, I blew it up because I wanted to make sure. I felt like I was sitting beside him. And I'm not kidding. And the people, Captain Harris and Mrs. Marie saw it, and they're like, oh my God. Are you scalloping? I don't know what scalloping means, my darling. What is that? Thank you, Grimere. Thank you. Yeah, there's another one. Now, listen, it's taken me a little longer to do these. So here's the schedule. Vale Keep is coming out next. The continuation of the 30-year war saga. I will do that. He loves all of you. He's watching. I know he is. Lord Greggor is coming out next, probably in the next day or two. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to ask him if he will, hi there, Gnome Fairy. I'm going to ask him if he'll talk to me about I think I said this, the 250-year Independence Day. I don't know if he's going to or not. So if he doesn't, he doesn't. But first is Vale Keep. Then comes another, I'm doing the voiceover for the Adlez. That's the anime, cute little thing. I love that channel. I'm like, let's go. I may ask to take it over. Then comes the vampire, the Crosse Chronicles again. And that's going to be the rotation. In between times, videos here, videos True Oracle. What else am I going to do? I'm here. Why not? I read. I'm almost done with one of my good books that I have. And thank you, Debbie, for sending me the other book about John Edwards. I do have that on Kindle, but I like the feel of a real book. The Big Life. I met this woman years ago in Columbus, Ohio. I did not know. I did not know who she was until not long ago. And I thought, oh my heck. And before you know it, I realized This lady, Mary Wells Lawrence, big advertising exec in New York in the 70s. Do you remember I Love New York? That was her. She was a huge advocate for women. And I went to see her, oh gosh, I think I was just out of high school in Columbus, Ohio. No, I wasn't out of high school yet, because we went down there to see her on some type of something or there. And holy moly, I wish to heck I would have paid attention back then. I was too worried about being a cheerleader. So anyway, so yes, my darlings, if you get a chance to get that book, because I love to read. I have a Kindle on my phone, a Kindle on my iPad, which I don't use anymore, in bed, since the one time I fell asleep and it fell on my face and I racked up my eye. And then I have a regular size Kindle. So there you go. And in any given time, what I do is hi June, any given time. Thank you, my darling. My cat, oh my goodness, I've got a hair in my eye. And in any given time, if I'm sitting here and I just need a break, or because I try to get up every hour, you shouldn't sit so long. And I'll walk back and forth in my living room and read while I'm walking. Lori, you are a Renaissance woman. I'm so glad I found your tubes of you. Thank you. Wow. I'm so glad I don't have to ask you to pay for anything that I pray for you, because that won't happen. Listen, I want our big thing to be what I'm going to do for Halloween this year. If you were not here for Halloween, last year I did Tippy Hendrix. I did for the birds. I had a blonde wig, birds in my hair, bird over here. It was a gas, and we had a great time. We played Dark Shadows, I think, a trivia game. We did all kinds of things, and we're going to do the same because Halloween is on a Saturday night, and I hope you're here. Zelda was going to eat 24 hours ago, but she loves it so much. That's Chloe. Do you know me so well? There you are, my darling. Yes. Been there, done that, bruised nose. Yes, that hurt. I'm sure he's saying hello. That accent, you all love that. Should I just be a gypsy? Maybe I should be a gypsy for, do you think? Maybe I should just be a gypsy for Halloween? Maybe. We'll figure it out. I had a great, and the intro was great. Oh, it was a lot of fun. It took me a while to plan it. I got the big blackbirds, put them on. My son's like, Mom, you just embarrass me so much. What are moms for? I have wall-to-wall books. I love that. I love the smell. I do too. Tippy Hendren, thank you so much, my darling. Yes, I got hosed up there for a minute. I was always a gypsy for Halloween as a kid. We had a choice because, we weren't allowed to get those masks were horrible. I'm going to try to maybe find some old pictures of Halloween with us. I don't think I have any anymore, though. But we had a choice. It was either a ghost, a pirate, or a gypsy. Well, guess which one I was all the time. And one year I was hopping mad because my sister got to be the gypsy. And she did it just because I wanted to be a gypsy. So I was a pirate, and I made a good one. Because, I could make our own costumes. And I got one of Mom's big hoop earrings and wore a scarf around my head. I walk around and Arr, matey. So, yeah. There we go, my darlings. Yes, it's about that time. We're just talking now, chatting. We're just chatting. That's it. So get out there and do what y'all want to do. We'll be back here tomorrow. I'll let you know about Saturday night. It depends on if I get company or not or whatever. Sometimes I just have to take a little breather and catch up. But if not, I'll still put some things out there. You'll know I'm here. You'll know I'm here. A gypsy would be great. What is that? My favorite movie from, what is it? The Wolf. Why isn't my thing working? Give me a second. My thing isn't working. Oh, I can see why it's not now. Okay. If ever a man is pure in heart and says his prayers by night, will become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the other moon is bright. Is it going to go? No. It's my wolf howl. I don't know what happened to it, but it's not working. Oh, well. Anyway, we'll do it. We always I buy my son costumes, but whatever. We still plan for Halloween. I plan snacks. I plan all kinds of stuff. Get some rest, my darlings. I love this. Well, thank you, my darling. But this one was wonderful. I think sometimes we just need to say, absolutely, Jesse. Yes. Make it together. I love your little profile picture. Look at him. I love that. I just am bothered because my stream deck isn't working and I needed some sound. Give me a second. What is happening here? I don't like it when things don't work. My. There we go. We'll see if we can restart it. There we go. No, it doesn't want to work. So anyway, my darling, thank you so much for True Oracle being here. I love you. Thank you for visiting my Avon page. I love you. Ding dong, Avon's calling. Thank you so much for my beautiful mods who always love to hang out with me because I always love to hang out with you. I think we just needed this. It's Mercury retrograde. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much. Stay to the end, my darlings. So that way you can say goodbye to everyone. We love you. Hang in there. Do what you want. Do what you want. Okay? In the meantime, have some peace, have some quiet, and have something good to eat. That's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. So here we go, my darlings. Say good night. And I will see you again next time. Big hugs, lots of love. And I'll see you soon. If I can find my outro, we'll do it. Where is it? Here it is. Bye for now. And so, the lantern fades, but the shadows remain. This story may end here, or perhaps it's only just begun. See you soon. For some reason, my sound isn't working. So anyway, here we go. We're going to do it without the sound. Thanks, my darlings. We'll work it out. We'll see you soon. Okay. So I think I got the sound working. Hang in there. Let me try this before we leave. Get ready? All right. If ever a man is pure in heart and says his prayers by night, may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. Look at the cats looking. See you soon, everybody.